Hello Bookish friends, welcome to my November wrap-up part 1. In this video I will talk about the 4 books that I finished and 1 book that I DNF'd in the first half of the month November. Like I did in my previous wrap-ups, I will insert the clips that I've recorded quite soon after I finish those works. Today is the 3rd of November. And today I decided to DNF the book that I was bud reading with Amy at Beck, which was the 3rd book in Witch Lord series, Truly, Madly, Magically by Hazel Beck. Actually, Amy DNF'd this book yesterday, a day earlier than me. But because I kind of found some parts of the second day interesting, I've decided to give it one more day, but I could not even finish the sections that we were supposed to read for today. And I really did not like the love story between the couple. Although I quite like second chance romances, couple who had separated 10 years earlier did not seem to change much. They still acted like they were teenagers, even though they were in their late 20s. I did not find their second chance romance believable. That's why I decided to DNF Truly, Madly, Magically by Hazel Beck. Today is the 8th of November and I finished the first book of the month today, which was The Diary of a War Bride by Lauri. This is also a category romance book, and I read this book for the category romance online book club. Although Sarah no longer chooses authors, I've decided to continue the tradition of reading one category romance book each month for the remaining months of the year. This book tells the story of an English land girl and a US officer and their blossoming romance in the middle of World War II in July 1942. Catherine, although initially quite prejudiced towards Americans because of a love story that happened in the family, she cannot help herself but feel attracted to very kind Sergeant Dale Johnson. I quite liked this romance book and I rooted for both of the characters. They were equally likable and both very kind-hearted souls who also helped the people around themselves. Although the book had some cliches of category romance books, I felt like it had a more backstory than most of the similar books that I've read this year. But I also felt like it could have been a bit shorter book. I felt like some sections towards the end dragged a bit. But overall, this was a quite decent reading experience, and I gave The Diary of a War Bride by Lauri a 7 out of 10. Today is the 9th of November and I finished the book that I was reading for my in-person book club, which was The Dispossessed by Ursula Guin. This book tells the story of anarchist Beck, who's also the galactically famous scientist and single-handedly attempts to reunite 2 planets cut off from each other by centuries of distrust. Anarchist Beck's homeland is a bleak moon settled by an anarchic utopian civilization where there is no government and everyone, at least nominally, is a revolutionary. Anarchist has long been isolated from other worlds, including its mother planet Uras, defined by warring nations, great poverty, and immense wealth. Now, Beck is determined to unify those 2 civilizations and he faces a great hostility, especially from his home planet. This book touches upon really good social issues, and it is also a very good critique of the society. The questions that it raises would actually be very good for book club discussion. I like that this book gave the message that it was trying to give without being too didactic. On the other hand, I have to admit this book was not engaging at all. I really spent quite a lot of time for a book that is not very thick, because although I wasn't bored while reading the book, there was nothing that made me want to read what would happen. Also, the tempo of the book was quite slow, and I gave The Dispossessed by Ursula Guin a 7 out of 10. It's the 12th of November, and I finished the book that I was reading for Nancy Drew Read Along, hosted by Mitzi at Mitzi Reads and Writes. The book that we read was The Message in the Hollow Oak by Carolyn Keene, the 12th book in the series. The edition that I read was a revised version of the mystery, since it followed a very different type of plot. I consider this book's original date as 1972. And in this mystery, professional detectives challenge Nancy to tackle a mystery because they did not have time to finish their investigation. Nancy is asked to find an important message hidden by a missionary centuries earlier in a hollow oak tree in Illinois. While searching the woods for the ancient tree, Nancy and her friends stay with a group of young archaeologists who are excavating prehistoric Indian burial mounds on a nearby farm. And during this investigation, Nancy is threatened by very shady men. I always enjoy reading Nancy Drew mysteries because it has a very nostalgic feeling for me. The reason that I became a mystery lover was because of the fact that I really enjoyed taking out Nancy Drew books from my high school library. However, although I did not feel bored or disappointed, this mystery was not a favorite. It could be my least favorite among the ones that we read so far. It felt more like an adventure story than a mystery. My friends in the group who read the 1935 edition said that the mystery was more complex on that one. So most probably I would have enjoyed that one better. However, it's always great to be a part of this wonderful Voxer group. We share our memories, book covers, nostalgic mysteries in the group. So it's always a delight to be a part of this read-along. So overall, I gave The Message in the Hollow Oak by Carolyn Keene a 6 out of 10. Today is the 15th of November, and I finished the book that I was reading for Dr. No-vember Readathon, which was the second book in Mrs. Pollifax series, The Amazing Mrs. Pollifax. In this book, Mrs. Pollifax arrives in Turkey under a tourist cover, expecting a quick handoff. Instead, she was pulled into a dangerous political web. Magda Feradji is being hunted by the secret police, and the original rescue plan collapses almost immediately. Because this book takes place in my country, I will do a dedicated Turkish shelf video about this book. In summary, I can say that I'm very much enjoying the writing style of Dorothy Gilman. It is fast-paced and very easy to be engaged in the story. But it's the characters that makes this story quite extraordinary. The character of Emily Pollifax is so different even now. I'm guessing at the time that it was written, such a woman was unheard of. She's quite fierce, adaptable, also very warm and compassionate character. Interestingly, although she's employed as a spy, she does not have a ill will towards anybody when she first meets them. Her interaction with all of the characters are great and also quite different from each other. Especially Colin Ramsey in this book had a quite big character development, which was of course great to read. The plot, like the first book, is not quite believable. But I don't think Dorothy Gilman wrote these books to be realistic. They are very, very fun, cozy mystery books. This was a quite successful read for me, and I gave The Amazing Mrs. Pollifax by Dorothy Gilman an 8 out of 10. Those were the 4 books that I finished and 1 book that I DNF'd in the first half of November. Please comment down below, have you read any of the books that I mentioned in this video, and what did you think about them? If you're a new viewer, first of all, welcome. Please like and subscribe. Hope to see you very soon. Bye. As for Turkish word of the day, I'm going to choose oak. Oak means meşe in Turkish, and meşe is our Turkish word of the day. Have a good day.